Let me chill out on that.
Man, I'm Bob, man. How you doing, man?
First I gotta get my breath from carrying that chair all the way back here.
I was gonna say, I just get my breath from carrying this podcast the whole time.
Oh, that's even heavier.
You do. I was about to say.
What a burden.
You need to work out more.
That's true. Now that's the real thing. Thank you. A real friend points out things that we should know, and then kind of gives them to you. And then
another friend gonna tell
and
you.
and hold on, let me finish. Let me finish my point.
You forgot.
I do. If you Peanut, this is another thing. Listen, don't interrupt me or I'll forget what I'm saying.
I'm sorry, bro.
Listen, when God gives you a gift, you should accept the gift as fast as you can, lest it'll be gone. But is life a gift?
I believe so.
Angelica.
Yes, life is a gift.
What do you prefer to be called?
Angelica.
Big facts. That's your mic. Right there, sis. Come on.
Okay.
Get on it. So, is life a gift?
Yes, life is a gift. Life is definitely a gift. I mean, when you really think about it, it's like, do you really deserve to be here? So, when you think about it in that aspect.
What do you say?
About you deserving it. You asking about her deserving to be here?
Yeah. Do you think that we deserve to live this experience of life?
I believe we all do deserve to live the experience of life, but it's how you carry out your life. Mm-hmm. So, if you're not living in your purpose, then your existence should be void.
Do you think that?
That was harsh.
No,
I feel you, but you said nuisance. But I feel what you're saying.
Okay, but if you are, let's say that you are living in your purpose. For what? What is the goal of living in your purpose?
You asking me this?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I believe that we are all here for a particular reason, and we all have a special purpose as to why we're here. So, but we all have one collective goal. I believe our one collective goal is to fulfill our individual duty and also be able to, be able to save our people in whatever aspect that God wants you to save your people in.
Mm-hmm. And
so what people don't need to be saved?
You sure about that?
Who says who?
I'm just saying.
Who decides if you need to be saved?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's very subjective because some people may be sitting high on the hog and, for lack of a better term, so where maybe they don't need no type of corrector. Like, if you look at, let's say, the Asian community.
Well, then their duty now is to save others. If they've already taken care of themselves, they're probably in this light bearer role where you got it. It's almost like each one.
Do you ever stop taking care of yourself though?
No.
Do you ever stop serving?
You never stop growing. We always are evolving. So once you believe as an individual that you're done growing, you're done evolving, and you don't need help. That's when you.
So then why do you think people should be voided if
not even that? Hold on, but
we're all evolving.
Look, check this out. Look, exactly, because you never got to your for real purpose. Maybe you did, maybe you didn't, but regardless of purpose, let's say somebody does it, right? I'm gonna go to P, and then I want to come down with it.
Say it again.
Let's say somebody does fulfill their purpose.
Okay.
On Earth.
Okay.
What happens to that person when they pass?
So to me, it all depends on what your actual purpose is. So, for instance, like a lot of people's purpose is actually an adverse effect, such as the devil had a purpose, right? Like the devil's purpose was
to be an adversary.
Exactly. So I feel like people's purpose are going to fall on different spectrums per se. So,
who says that though?
It's to me. I'm just going off of what we have as in modern day literature, such as Bibles and things of that nature.
But did they say that? I don't know. I'm asking.
Man, you do that so well. I love when you do that. You so good.
No, for real, because I'm not a.
So the
So
devil,
somebody's purpose is actually here to be evil.
the devil is the
Yeah.
person who lived backwards. They literally spelled live backwards, right? So like the devil is someone who lived backwards, and that was his assignment. Like even in the book of Job, and
So he went to hell.
That
For
was,
living his
hey, let me
purpose.
say one thing though. That was tough.
So
That was tough.
So the devil
The
went to hell for living his purpose.
the devil is lived backwards. That's
oh,
nice.
thank you, bro.
That's
You
nice.
know what I mean? In my baggie.
That's nice.
But I'm for
Damn.
real. So now I'm getting punished and I gotta burn in hell for life because I live my purpose of evil.
But if it's so
Well, thank you. That
I'm
was
just
a
wondering.
great. You hear what she said?
yes. What you saying is, am I the fault of you letting this demon play in my life that jeopardized my
Listen,
elder-
if you served your purpose for
No, the
if
actual
you served your
devil. If that
purpose
was
to
his
do
purpose.
evil, but it was for God,
Yeah.
Then why did he get
then
punished?
do you get punished?
I don't feel like you get punished for that. Like you
He did if he go to hell. If you believe in heaven and
Is
hell. right?
anybody's purpose truly to do evil? You
I
guys
don't
said
believe
yes.
in the
So
concept
now
of
what
hell.
happens?
Me either.
I
But
don't
I'm
believe
saying
in
if you
that.
believe in the concept
I don't
of the
think a
devil.
person's
What
purpose
happens?
is
What
to do
after
evil.
they're done living a purpose?
Ooh, what
Mhm.
happened there? You don't believe it?
After they're done living their purpose.
So speaking of which, I fulfilled the purpose of the question that you asked me.
I'm sorry. You didn't. Keep going.
But
Well,
listen, I want everybody to answer. So just say
Yeah, I thought it was
this is
good.
give me a okay. But what was your quick answer? Do you remember the question?
So the question was asking me if
What happens after your purpose? You
Yes.
didn't finish saying it. 'Cause I
I feel like out the book of Peter, out the book of everybody else, is I don't feel like life ever ends. So even when you leave this one, you go to a different plane of existence where your travel continues.
Okay.
So I don't feel like
So it's no
so
reward,
is it
no
a different
punishment.
purpose after that?
Your
like
reward
there's
is
task in this
like-
realm, there's task in another realm. You just fulfill this list and go on to the next one.
Okay. All right. Dina.
I feel something similar like that. So I just kind of feel like your vibrations and stuff determines your next
Mhm.
existence.
I like that.
So if
Can you explain that?
so if you're putting out good vibrations in this realm,
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna reap the benefits of that, or you're gonna carry that to the next realm.
I'll add to my book.
You know what I'm saying? Just
So you can't. So what if you're not? What if you just hard headed this round? The next round you gotta suffer for that.
what?
right, yeah. So
Okay,
the next
okay.
round
You're
is
doing good
consequences.
you're doing good in hopes to, and the reason why I'm trying to figure out how I want to say it. So you're doing good in order to continue to try to do good on the next level, or are you saying you go to a? So if you're doing good here, right, then you go to an environment that's good all around where you don't have to try as hard. What's happening in this
After you
next
die.
thing that you graduate to? What's going there? What's going on there?
I feel like depending on depending on your vibration, that determines the realm you go to.
We're talking about somebody who served their purpose.
Somebody who serves their purpose and is vibrating on a, let's say, a high level. That would probably take them to a realm to where they can exist in. You know what I'm saying? Because like if you, and I'm saying that based off of right now, like, you know what I'm saying, in our existence, we only got 5 senses. And if you know what I'm saying, know a little bit about science, you know, there's a lot of other things that we can't hear. It's a lot of other colors that we can't see. It's a lot of other, you know, things that we can't touch, but it's still here.
Yeah.
And it's still around us. So it's like,
How do you know if we can't see it or touch it?
because we have instruments that can detect those things. So we can't detect it, but I think once you, I guess, go to another realm, or you leave this realm, your energy picks up a different senses, and
You're
then
going
you
to a higher
detect,
consciousness.
yeah, and you detect the different, you know, different things that in that realm.
Yeah.
But I feel like you probably still here on Earth. You know what I'm saying? But you just in a different realm here on Earth.
Let me hear it, Doc. I ain't heard my sister.
I think the purpose of I think the purpose. I'm gonna just say this from life experience. I think the purpose of fulfilling of moving in your purpose is inner peace. I think that if you're trying to chase something else besides why you're here, I don't think you're ever going to be settled in your soul.
Mm-hmm.
So once you begin to live in your purpose, then your life just becomes much more clearer and much more peaceful and much more happy. I'm not saying you don't experience adversary and sadness, but I just think overall you begin to look at people like, what you so mad about? Because you're living in your purpose, and it just gives you this sense of fulfillment, happiness, because that's what you're here for. And it's like, I don't know, it's like,
does somebody have a purpose, or do they make what they're doing their purpose?
I think that you have it, because I'm going to tell you why. So when I was younger, I wanted to be a teacher. And then I went through school, and I wanted to be an actor. And then I went more through school, and I was like, I'm sick of school. What is this? I don't like, I like to learn, but I don't like people telling me what I should be learning. And so,
You know that about you.
right. So, listen, I don't know if it's a flaw or not. I don't know if it's a flaw or not, but it is what it is. So when I graduated from high school, I was like, I'm going to do hair. I'm good at it. That's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to school no more. And whatever happened, I ended up at Central State, and I became a teacher. I don't know how. I got there, and I don't even remember saying, I want to go to the college education and be a teacher. But it happened, and ever since I've been teaching, I haven't wanted to do anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't care what's happening. I love educating people. I love educating adults. I love if it's something I don't know, I love reading about it and then saying, well, this is what I like. If somebody says, how do I get my credit score up? I don't know. I'll look it up and figure it out, and then I'm gonna help you do it. I love that. It brings me joy. I love helping people in the sense of giving them knowledge, even if I have to go get it before you get it. And it just
is good.
And so I think that once you find your purpose, you'll know it because you're not unsettled. You're not trying to chase, and you're not like going from job to job, or you're not doing this or that. You're settled in it, and you're happy, and you don't go to work, or you don't. Because everybody's purpose doesn't bring money. You know, it could be to serve the community at the homeless shelter. You know what I'm saying? But when you go home, you're like, that was not fun, but like, I really enjoy doing this. And so I think when you do that, I don't know what happens when you pass away, but I do know this, because I don't know. Let me just say this one thing that I don't know. One of my sisters had a kind of like a death experience.
Yeah.
And I asked her, like, so I know this is crazy watching the hospital. I was like, I know this is crazy, but can I ask you a question? She said, yeah. I said, so what was it like being dead?
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, it was just darkness. I don't remember it. When I woke up, it was what it was. So I just said that to say, I don't know what it's like to be in a coma, to have near-death experience, to see the light, none of that. But I do know this, because I don't know that, I'm going to walk in my purpose here, just in case I don't have another chance to be this happy.
So since the majority of the world is let's say poor, does that mean that the majority of the world doesn't have a purpose, or they're not living their purpose?
Poor, what do you mean? In monetary sense?
Like poor in every sense.
Who says so? Majority of the world.
Like that's what the census say.
But they're saying poor in the
according
monetary
to what
sense.
metric though? Like you're poor how?
Wow, millionaires?
If you live in the poor, let's say you live in a third world country and everybody is poor.
According to the census,
Nobody is poor. When you don't have this competition and coveting things, like
so let's say that
poor,
okay,
poor
let's say
has
you
a
live in
different
third world
meaning.
country and you're not, you know what I'm saying, you don't have a lot of resources or whatever. Then what then is your purpose?
it still could be the same purposes that we have. It
Right.
still could be.
You could be teaching people. You could be doing. I mean, there's more to
Your
life
purpose
than
might
this.
be like, let's find a water source.
I mean,
I don't know.
yeah,
It could still.
We don't need much as human beings. We don't
But
need much.
what I'm saying is like only a small percentage of people are successful.
But depending on how you define success.
Right, it's all about your perspective.
In
I
every,
never want to
in
get
every,
a Tesla that I don't think I'm broke.
in pretty much every way. So if we are looking for a water hole, I mean, we don't have any water, and only one person go out and find a water
Well, that's
hole.
an extreme example.
Then, but that's mostly it's like in most situations, it's only a small percentage of the people.
It
that's
is.
gonna
It's
step out.
these are outstanding people that
Right,
that
it's
do
only-
more
yeah,
and
a
are
small
get
percent of
recognition for the things they do.
Outstanding people, right?
Right.
So in that situation, then as the what are you saying about the rest of the people? Because if it's only a small percentage of people that's living their purpose, then what about the larger percent of people that's not living their purpose?
So-
What do you say about that?
So this is just from an educator's perspective. According to our hierarchy of needs, if your basic needs aren't met, which are food, clothing, shelter, then everything else is null and void. So I can't even talk about my purpose if I'm hungry. I can't even talk about my purpose if I don't feel safe. I can't even. So, first of all, we got to define poor. If it's poverty to which I can't even feed myself and I can't even have a shelter, then you can't even talk about your purpose because you're in a state of mind in
What
which
is
you're
your
survival.
purpose then? If you're in that state, this is the
Your
only
purpose-
state you know. So how?
In that
how can
state,
you
your
say-
purpose is
how
to
can
find
you say,
food,
oh,
shelter,
these
water.
people- These people had a, you know what I'm saying, purpose.
They do. It's
All right,
just that the world in which we live.
Let me come to Angelica. All right, she's our guest, our special guest.
I mean, I'm listening. This is a beautiful dialogue.
Nah, indeed. But I want to get you in here. Is there such thing as a purposeless person?
No, there's no such thing as a purposeless person. I believe that depending on who you call your God, we all have one source. Before you even came into a thought, God knew why He put you in your mother's womb.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what you choose to do after you come out your mother's womb is on you, because one thing God doesn't do, He doesn't make you do anything. You do what you choose to do.
That's true.
You know, so I believe that we all have a purpose, even if your purpose is just to have children. Even if your
But
purpose
if God
is just,
knows what, does He know what you're gonna do too? Or He don't know what you're gonna do. He just know what your purpose is.
are you saying like He doesn't know what you're gonna do to mess up your chance to live your
Yeah,
purpose?
yeah.
No, He doesn't.
Okay.
You know, I don't think He knows, because I mean we all have a free will.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, what you choose to do with your life will reflect, you know, just how you continue to live on in this life in your future generation. But however, you know,
But if somebody's purpose is not clarified, right? How do they know that this thing was their particular purpose? And how do you know you're not being scammed by the religion that you're in?
What do you mean scam?
Because there's so many different religions. Let's take us on this panel. Now, I don't think any of us have the same nailed down perspective on maybe what God is, how we go and worship, whatsoever. But according to most religions, only one of us, if one of us actually had it right, it would be like, they got it right, the rest of y'all are going to hell because you picked the wrong religion.
I don't think it's that.
I know it's not that, but isn't that sacred text? Doesn't a lot like Christians say, like, if you don't say that Christ died on the cross for all men's sin, I got you. If you don't believe that, then you
That's what
are
they
not
say.
going. You're not saved. And Islam has a similar tenet where you have to basically confess that Muhammad is the prophet of Allah, that Muhammad is his messenger. So,
And if you don't,
if you don't do that, I think that you're in trouble. Says you can clarify if I'm wrong, but I'm saying though, like you have to have these beliefs in order to pass the test, and Muhammad has to be the prophet of Allah.
I mean, everybody has their own thought on religion. I think that's what's messing us up as a whole, because of all these different religions.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, religion was set as the reason why religion was set was to keep us in order as a whole, as a particular group.
Yeah.
So you got Christians, Muslims, whatever the case may be, and they follow this one guy that we all follow, really, but they separated. at the end of the day, like if you're looking at the Bible, Quran, at the end of the day, when you think about religion, from what I've learned, religion is just do to others as you want done to you.
The golden rule.
That's it. That's religion. Do unto others what you want done for you. I think because we've been told different things, different perspective, it keeps us all separated in the one true goal that we all have the same God at the end of the day.
And if we could respect, I feel like at the end of the day, if you go across all the religions, they do have like don't kill, don't steal, some
Universal
commonality.
law.
However, I feel like if we could just respect each other's differences, then religion wouldn't be, I don't want to say so bad, but it wouldn't be this thing where you're this, you're that, you suck.
Yeah, because
In all actuality, we all really believe the same thing.
right, we
Right.
know we do, but religion, like, because we're not entrenched in the most religious stuff. Come on, Pig. What you got?
I'm at this part where I'm starting to feel that like your life purpose is situational, not given by God. I feel like God is going to bless you if you're doing things in the right heart, in the right spirit, and it's something that's actually needed.
According to who? Right,
What
heart,
would be
right
that?
feet.
No,
I'm saying according to who in the
And
right.
that's it. You
Heart
can
and right
his
spirit.
book. We said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what
Okay.
he
He's
did.
saying this. Nobody has to tell him anything for him to know it,
Yeah.
and he's allowed to just say
Yeah, that's
what
what
it
I'm
is
asking.
without it coming from somebody else.
Yeah, and I mean, and I feel like this is like it's situational. Like for instance, that first part where I was talking about how you know what I'm saying you're born on this place with limited resources, right? That person could be born in a whole different situation where like maybe he's adopted, he lives in America. His purpose is going to change situationally to where he is. He may then feel empowered to say, you know what, I'm gonna go back to make sure my village has this. So I feel
That
like,
might have been his purpose.
but what I'm saying is God is gonna bless you if you're moving in the right step, and if you bless him on the way of that, then you'll be blessed on your way to doing stuff. Because again, I mean, with us having free will, you gotta realize that this is multiplied by the quadrillions of people that are actually out there. So let's say this person is changing like government is changing things situationally, environment changing things situationally. There's gonna be so many things that are gonna happen, and we're subscribing to this all-knowing God, or God knows a lot, but then that's where we had a dissection. And what I'm saying is I feel like, for instance, I didn't know what my purpose was until we had Ron McGlynn on the podcast. And if I never would have took the opportunity to even interview her or whatever like that, like I probably would have met her later on in life because I knew that she was connected to my grandmother, but I never would have had a front row seat to actually find out. I found out literally in that podcast what my life purpose was, and I've been working there ever since and only been blessed and coming from it.
So why do you think that though? Why do you think she's the only one who could reveal your purpose?
Well, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that's what it was revealed to me.
Everybody,
I get it.
everybody's purpose is revealed to them in a different way. You know, I believe that at the end of the day, we also got to remember too that we're mostly energy, we're mostly spirit.
Mm-hmm.
So God will use people, or he will send messages to you in dreams, or he will come to you himself, depending on how y'all believe and what y'all believe. But at the end of the day, when we think about it, we're really more intuitively connected than we think.
I agree.
So the lady probably was used as a sign for him to know what his purpose is.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you may be help to show somebody what their purpose is. So God uses us in different ways, even if you believe that maybe you haven't accomplished as much as others have in this world, like the success and the big stuff. But God may have just put you here just to do one thing, one particular thing.
So that's what I'm saying. So how would you determine, okay, well, this is my purpose? And then especially if you are only put here to do one thing, one particular thing, and then, you could just, how do you say, oh, well, this is my purpose, or that was my purpose, or that's my purpose?
I like how she said it.
I think even if I was born in a third world country, I would be teaching.
Mm-hmm.
I think that because I'm so good at it. Like and I'm so happy about it, and I'm so just fulfilled in it. But I'm gonna say this: I feel like there's a lot of noise when she talk about energy and vibrations, we don't, a lot of times people don't know how to be alone. They don't know how to sit with themselves. They don't know how to just sit and be still in quietness to hear stuff. So sometimes God has told you your purpose. Sometimes God has revealed things to you. Sometimes things have been revealed to you, but it's so much noise you can't see it or hear it because you're so just involved with so much. And I also think that we don't meditate. We're very busy. And I feel like some of that is, and I'm just speaking for myself, some of that is due to trauma and some of that is due to things that you're trying to avoid within yourself and you don't want to reckon with. Because if I'm being still and if I'm quiet and if I'm here, now I got to think about all these different things. And I also think that I saw this quote the other day and I literally texted my cousin. It was like, God told you, but it wasn't what you wanted to hear, so you act like it wasn't from him.
I agree.
So I just feel like I don't think that one person, not saying that
No. Because like there were already
Sometimes
precursors. So like, for instance, my grandmother was always telling me this. Like I remember when I first graduated college, my grandma was telling me, man, you need to do something for the kids and you need to do something for the community. She kept, no matter what stepping stone I was doing, it was always bring back to the community. So it was. You hear it 1,000 times to repeat it to yourself once, kind of situation.
And sometimes, so I always think about God as, when we say our Father, like, as a parent. So if I'm coming from a parent's perspective, I know my kids right now better than they know themselves. I do, because I take time with them, I sit with them, I talk to them, and I say things to them like, I don't think you should do that. Why? I just don't think that's you. I don't think that's who you are. You can make the decision. Sometimes they choose to do it, and they'll say to me, I shouldn't have done that. Yeah. I figured. And so I feel like that's how it is with us in the spirit, God, the universe, whoever you believe. Sometimes we're doing stuff and where we might be chasing money, we might be chasing fame, we might be chasing a girl, a guy. It might just be attention. It might not be all of those things, so we can't hear our purpose.
Let me switch it up. But while you guys are talking, you two, man, it is so powerful. Like I'm sitting here just looking at the monitor, like this is clutch.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna hold you. Like both of y'all got the juice.
2 queens. For sure.
2 real queens
For sure.
coming through. I wanna hear y'all build for a minute. Okay, so as a woman, in this family unit, I feel like a lot of the unrest that we see in the community, right? I think that it has something to do with the breakup of our family. What do women have to do in order to make men do better? Or I'm trying to figure it, like, how can women keep the family together?
I think that I feel like sometimes women have been, I'm gonna speak for me. Sometimes you've been knocked down and beat up and all this, and you have this anger within you, and so it's not against men. It's just it's against, like, you don't know what it is to be me. So it's like, because there's nobody else, it's the man. We sometimes attack, and that's the wrong thing to do. So I feel like in order for, I don't want to say men to act right. I think in order for people to act right, men or women, I feel like we need to support each other. And so if a man or a woman, and you're in a life together, is doing something maybe that you don't approve of or you think is going down a self-destruction road, or you effing up, for lack of better words, I think you should be like, what's going on with you? Like, what's up? You all right?
Communication.
Instead of, and you effing up. Instead of, what the F you doing?
Right.
Instead of all that drama,
Yeah.
I think we should come from a place of understanding, because we've all may have gone down the path. So I think the key is for us to kind of support. And I don't mean support in a way of saying, you go to work and I come home and I'm at home, or we both go to work and I cook your food. To me, I'm not saying that's not support. To me, support is mentally being there, understanding and not like being chastising somebody when they do wrong or making them feel like they the scum of the earth because they messed up one time. Like, I feel like we should come from a place of, I know that ain't you, or, what's up? Like, what's going on with you? You good? Like, talk to me. Let's have a conversation instead of coming from a place of, I don't want to say victim, but of a place of they're doing something to you when they're actually doing it to themselves.
Right.
You might be reaping the negative benefits of them doing it to themselves. But I think once you get to a place of, I don't want to say enlightenment, but a place of understanding, and you understand that really they're harming themselves, and you are choosing to be in this space with them in order to reap the negative benefits. So since you're choosing that, own that and be there for them and say, sometimes people go through stuff. I'm choosing to be here with you. I know I'm reaping these negative benefits of our house about to get foreclosed on because you out here gambling. But really, I need to know what's going on with you because it ain't about gambling. Right. What is it about? And try to work through that. Now, I'm not saying stay in a space where it gets to the point where you lose this house, the second house, the third. Like, at some point, you got to hold yourself accountable for being in the situation and them accountable for doing it. But I think if we support each other in the beginning, period, and even if you're not together, your children, your niece, nephews, the men and you see in your community, like, we cool. If I see you out here, that I see that you're doing something not in your character, I ain't about to badmouth you to people. Mm-hmm. I'm going to come up here and knock on your door, like, before I leave, let me holler at you for a sec. Like, I heard some ish, and I feel like that ain't you. What's up? Were you good?
Yeah.
You know, and I think if we come from a place of that, instead of every man for himself and I got to get mine and F everybody, then I feel like we'll just be better. And I feel like men need it more right now. They may have not needed it more in the past. I don't know. But I feel like right now we are under attack. And I feel like if we come from a place of understanding, then maybe, I don't know. I don't know. I just feel that way. That's what's worked for me.
Yeah.
I like that. I agree with you. I believe that, unfortunately, the woman has been mishandled. And because she's been mishandled, she doesn't know herself. She doesn't love herself. And with her not knowing herself, her value, not loving herself, how can she be able to love a black man? How can she be able to support that black man? And even if we're talking about both sides, man and woman, at the end of the day, I kind of think that it has came to a point where we have lost love for self. So if you don't love yourself, how can you love someone else? You know, we're taught, you know, of course, like I had said it before, do to your brother and sister you want done for yourself. And, you know, love our brother and sister, you know. And because we don't have that love no more, because, you know, I believe the people of this world has turned us against each other, and they know the powerful dynamic of the black man and the black woman is keeping us divided. You know, black man with the black man and the black woman coming together and being able to actually build,
It's over.
that's scary for them.
Yeah.
They don't want to see that. And the more they see us in division, the more that they're able to do what they want with us. So, I mean, I just believe that, you know, as far as for the woman, you know, it's time for us, and even, you know, she said it too, like, we have to start taking accountability. You know, a lot of stuff that we've been through, as far as like younger childhood trauma, you know, all that leads up to how we are now, especially as women or men. But as far as the woman, because she is the mother of civilization, and because she brings in the children of this world, you know, the nation can't rise no higher but with this woman. So because of that, the woman has more of a duty on her than a man because of what God has put her in position to do, because she's the second self of God. You know, so because of that, and, you know, I done had Brother Nuri on my show a couple times, and he always said that, like, if the woman would just really set her standards high, we can really change the mindset of the men, and the men will fall in line and follow suit. And it's not nothing about, you know, having some type of like order as far as like, oh, men submit to me. No, it's not nothing like that. But most men, they are naturally they're naturally attracted to us. So we are constantly coming out here showing ourselves off in a certain manner, you know, and that's all they see. Then I mean, they're going to be that's what they're going to get. That's all they see. But if we can come into this society with a new mindset and a new perspective of life and be able to uphold that, I believe that the men will follow suit. So I believe at the end of the day as well, you know, I'm talking a nation that, you know, 75% of the work is with the woman. So we have more of a duty to fulfill, and the only way we're going to be able to fulfill that duty is we be able to get back and connect with ourselves and know who we are. That's why, like, what my sister was saying, like, how it's so important for us to, like, we have to really be able to be in silence and be able to really understand and get to know who we are, be okay with being alone, you know, because that is, and I mean, I bear witness, like, you know, Allah spoke to me a few times, you know, and I know it because I feel it. It's a feeling that you actually feel, and we all get this feeling. You know, that's the way that we kind of like interact, because we interact with with feelings and emotions. So once the woman can be able to tap back into her true nature and who she is, which she is the second self of God, and she knows what standards she upholds, then she'll be able to show off, you know, show herself in a different light, to where men will become more interested in women like that, other than the other women, you know, the other women that we see that this world has created us into. So it's
The world has put him on a pedestal.
Exactly.
It ain't the right.
Yeah, so it really breaks my heart, because I come from a place where, you know, my mother, my father, my stepfather was there, but the way I treated myself as a young girl and the way that I allowed men to treat me, at the end of the day, I can go back and blame mom and dad and blame, you know, my, you know, environment. But as I come into maturity and understand that I still have a duty to fulfill within myself to make sure that I don't continue this cycle. And once you have acknowledged that you have to break this cycle, and that's when you will be able to see the change. So it, like I said, it kind of just breaks my heart that at the end of the day, we don't never think about the children. Never. That like really breaks my heart. We get into these situations unhealed, you know, not wanting to address issues, get into situations, and then we bring children into the world and continue the same cycle. So you see it never changes.
So what do y'all think from
Well,
that
that's what I was going to
perspective,
ask.
what we
Bina,
could do
Bina,
to-
what can a woman do to keep the family together?
I mean, it's there's so many things a woman can do, but I think for me, and you know what I'm saying, I'd rather focus on what a man could do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. The reason why I asked you what a woman could do is because I think it might be interesting for women to hear what men are actually looking for.
Yeah,
I agree.
yeah.
That's, you know, and
I do
then
too. Because I was sitting here wondering, like, what
you
could we
think?
do?
Yeah.
We saying this, but y'all might be saying to yourselves, nah, that ain't what I need. I need such and such.
Well, I guess support good men. You know what I'm saying? Like she said, the whole basically hold men to a higher standard. You know what I'm saying? Like if you just raise the standard on getting the nookie, men would come forward. They would comply. Like just raise the standard. Like,
Yeah.
but at the same time though, if we're living in a society where you have the woman that's half dressed, and then you got the woman that's fully dressed, and then you have the man that's giving his attention to the woman that's half dressed, but at the end of the day, he want to settle down with the woman that's fully dressed. But then the woman that's observing, she's looking and seeing that the man is giving all his attention to the woman that's half dressed. So she feel like, oh, she needs to be half dressed also, and not seeing that this man really would settle down with the woman that's fully dressed, but how he treats this woman that's half dressed is not how she wants to be treated. So she then get into a relationship with a man approaching him half dressed, and she's not understanding like that's not what he wants, and she's trying to act like the woman that's fully dressed, act like she has morals. But now, how you want this man to treat you like that when he treat all the other women that's half dressed like they don't have morals because that's how he's used to treating them. So now you get this, but it's just a confusion out there, and you got,
I agree.
and it's not
right on point.
one type of woman out there. You know what I'm saying? It's not one type of man out there either. So now you got these different type of women getting with these different type of men, not vetting these men and not spending time and getting to know what type of man this really is or he really is, and you just assuming or just looking at the outer, you know what I'm saying, saying, oh, okay, well, he got this or he does that, you know what I'm saying, and you're assuming that he's that type of man, but you're not getting to know him and getting to know what type of man he really is. And so once you get with that man and he done gave you a whole outlook on the rest of the men, so now your outlook on all men is messed up. And then it's like that with the men. You get with the type of woman and she mess over you, and now your outlook on women is messed up.
So I think it goes back to what she was saying about both of us kind of like she built on what I said about silence and sitting with yourself. And then after I said that, she said, once you get to know self and worth, then that wouldn't be an issue.
No.
Because then you're like, I don't have to conform to anything. I'm going to be me. And I'm, whether you believe in God, the universe, the law of attraction, I'm going to attract what I am. But if you don't know who you are because you're so scared to be alone, or you're so scared of the silence, or you're going after wanting to be with somebody by any means necessary, and then you get into this cycle. But if you sit with yourself, so I've been married. I've never been a chaser of a guy, but I'm a hopeless romantic and I love being in a relationship. Okay, so I was married, got a divorce, but after I got a divorce, I really sat with myself and I worked on myself, and I'm reading books and I'm like, okay, I have to attract what I want. And I'm not saying I got beat up or none of that stuff. Like, it wasn't a toxic relationship. We just wasn't meant to be together. But I did want to be married. You know what I'm saying? So when my husband proposed to me, that's what I wanted. But what I really should have been, I think, thinking about was who I am. Getting to know myself. Because within my marriage, I changed to be somebody that I wasn't. And that's probably why things wasn't going to work out anyway. Because I tried to conform to be this perfect wife. But in all actuality, if I knew who I was fully, not halfway, but fully, because I sat with myself, I meditated with myself, I've listened to the Lord and just was happy with myself and loved myself, then I'm going to attract that love to me. So I feel like this is a vicious cycle, but I feel like we learned that, like she said, from our parents. You know what I'm saying? Like, our parents tell us, be this way, be that way, or they show us what, like when she said the kids suffer. When you're in this toxic relationship, kids think that's what, they don't know. Because if that's all they know. If auntie's relationship is toxic, my mom's isn't toxic, but it ain't happy, and my grandma and grandpa don't even sleep in the same bed, I'm feeling like this is what marriage is.
It becomes normal.
And it becomes normal.
I think it could be something as basic as this. It's understanding that you want to do the work. You are suffering from trauma, and you want to heal. You want to do the work, and you get with someone that wants to heal and wants to do the work. Because I think most of us in our community are suffering from some type of trauma.
Yeah.
And we get with someone, and we expect them not to display their trauma, or we not taking into consideration that they're suffering from trauma also.
Yeah.
Or we may not even consider that we're suffering from trauma
Yeah,
ourselves.
we don't want to acknowledge
You know what I'm
that.
saying? We or don't want to acknowledge
You're
that
right.
we suffering from trauma, and we put that off on them, and then now they're reacting from their trauma.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like now it's two people that suffer from trauma, and no one wants to do the work. No one wants to heal. No one really won't even want to back down. Like everybody trying to flex their ego now.
Yeah,
So
That's
it's
that
like
ego, yeah.
so then that's coming from
Ego's
trauma.
the devil.
So
What you think? What's your thoughts on it?
I know. Come on. I heard that. You
I
right.
mean, what can a woman do
yeah.
Yeah.
to keep the family together? Chill a little bit. Like some of it is just like I think that women, yeah, they gotta know their worth. They gotta know their worth, and I don't know if women who are fully dressed and like right where we're at right now, right in this society, I don't know if women would be able to turn it around and stop wearing half naked clothes because of America. I mean, it's just openly promoted.
Right.
Everything is out of whack, man. You
But how
know.
many people
And
in
then
your
I
everyday
think,
life do you
and
see?
then I think that another thing that I think is happening with women is women are being taught wrong about love, relationships, and how things really are, and they are like men are too. Men are like our family and our building should happen in a different way than what we're trying to do. You know, I don't think that we learn about relationships. People don't know each other long enough before they get married. People need to be brought together much younger and be friends. So it's different to do something to your friend than it is to do something to your just woman or man. Even though y'all are, but when you're a friend of somebody, it's tougher to do. You know, you like, damn, I can't do that to my bro.
Like
you
even when
know.
you mad at your friend, you like.
Well, the thing
but I still
about
gotta
a
talk to my
husband,
friend.
like if
So I agree with you. I really
Right.
agree with that.
right, so I think that we approach relationships kind of weird. You know what I'm saying? Like relationships don't have enough support from the other family members either. Just like in other countries, if we get married, then we still live in the house with our family and everybody, and you know. Then you got more people to hold accountable. You got more people to let down if you just say this is over. They're like, oh, hell no. If you got like 12, 13 people all living together, it makes it more solid. So I think we approach relationships terribly. And
You talking about
men
in
have,
American society?
yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. And I don't think that we're living in our natural element of understanding the man and how he works, man, and how actual life is has to happen. Like the man is put in that man to be to want it sounds kind of fucked up, but to want sex a lot. You know what I'm saying? Even he don't always act on it, right? But I'm just saying that craving is there a whole lot. And the
I was gonna say, hold on, wait. I mean, I think it's both.
I think
It
society
is-
tells
it
y'all
is.
y'all's is more than us because we're meant to be settled.
Yeah,
and
we're
quiet.
meant to
you're
like.
not though.
don't-
Listen, you guys. Okay, so now men and women are different.
Yeah.
We are.
So just because I'm saying that men have a high sex drive and want, it's only because of their ability to reproduce. Like I think men can have how many children in a year? 100? How many children can a woman have in a year? One. So I'm just talking about their natural instinct, right? And so
have more than 100.
he can have more than 100, but I'm being moderate with it to not just overdo it. So all I'm saying is I'm taking a long way to say I think that relationships, I think that men could have more than one wife. And I think that at least if that option is not looked at, because they end up with more than one wife anyway. Like let's take me for example. Now I have 4 children's moms. Right? All of my kids, we all a family. We all get along. I'm so tight with all of my children's moms. And so in a roundabout way, we are a family. I do have commitment with them. I'm not going to leave them hanging. They all are participating in it, but ego is stopping them from us to be much more powerful and move as a unit. I should be able to say
ego.
it has a lot to
I
do
don't
with.
think it's ego.
I don't
I think it's the
Well-
nature of the woman. I mean, when you think about it, like the woman is naturally jealous. She's not.
Everybody is.
I mean,
She
yeah, but the
is.
woman is
She-
more jealous than the man.
She is, but I think that relationships get ended
So what happened that you?
because men listen. This is a backward society. Men cannot be honest with women because they love them. And if they didn't care about them, they would tell them the truth. But when they tell them the truth, they got this fear that they're going to lose them. And so men can't even talk openly. For me to say, man, I can be attracted to lots of women, I'm almost shamed for that. Right? So men cannot be honest because when they do, they like, you're fucking crazy. You're this, you're that. But he's trying to tell you a natural pulse that men normally have, but it can't be taken out of wax like he can just go and just have sex with any women. I don't think that that's a real relationship. But I'm saying though, that has to be looked at in order for infidelity and all of these things that crash families, kill families, and cause men to divide. It's happening at such a clip and a usual rate. You have to say,
But do you
is this a
think-
natural phenomenon that we keep seeing over and over, and we're trying to go against nature, making families
on the
split
scale
apart?
from 1 to 10, how important is sex in a relationship?
10?
8.
8 and 10. Okay, so if your partner couldn't have sex no more, would that end the relationship? According to you, if it's a 10, then that means yes.
8
No,
does too.
hold on for a
8
second.
does
Hold
too.
on for a sec. Let's do some things here for a second. If I'm in a relationship with my friend, I'm not ending that because he can't have. Are you telling me he can't please me? Are you telling me he can't?
You can't have sex no more.
That don't mean he can't please me. It's more
What,
than
what
one
about
way
if
to
what
please
about if he can have sex, but he stops being able to please you? Will you? Is that a deal breaker?
I think that if I am in a relationship with my friend and we are in a relationship and we're having this discussion, then he will guarantee that I get pleased.
Yeah, you like figure it out one way or another.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Just
true.
the same with me.
Nah,
If I'm going through something and I can't please my man, he's going to get pleased.
yeah.
If like you said in the beginning, when you are friends with somebody, like
Yeah.
it is something powerful
About that
about
friendship.
being. So my mentor, Ida, who was talking about the abortion stuff, she was her first husband passed away, and she was saying that when she had other death, and so she was like, I know how to deal with this death thing, but she's waiting to deal with this death of her husband, waiting, and then she came to the realization that that was my friend, like. That was like the first thing I like. Not only was he my husband, that was my bestie.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when you have that first, like you said, I feel like it's gonna last longer, and you can. The whole death do us part thing will be more, will come into more of a fruition or more. You'll be more tangible if you are friends, because I'm gonna tell you this: society has told us that the biggest fuck up, excuse my language, is cheating. Right? People will forget. People will be with a crackhead. People will be with somebody who has swindled away all their money. But you cheat on me, I'm out. Like it ain't a mistake that anything else could be
True,
made.
but I want to go back to something that I said, and I think y'all snickered at it. If a man, like, you don't think men lie to women that they love? in order to like
Yeah.
not let the relationship be broken.
I
up,
think it
broken
goes both
down?
ways. Y'all just don't. Let me say this now. I guarantee you this.
I hate all things
I
that
know.
come back at us.
Because I'm sorry, I'm a bust in so many men's world with this. But women are put I don't know how both things could be true, that we're like treated like second class citizens, but we're also put on this pedestal of this perfection.
Mhm.
So much so that men think that women don't do what men do. Like, we don't lie, cheat, and steal too. And I feel like sometimes, first of all, women are taught to lie from a young age to get attention, to stroke an ego, to be something they're not, whether it's like,
Right. I'll give
So
you
we
that.
lie.
Wait, I'm not saying they don't.
wait,
They do. They do.
Let me
But
say
that's what
this.
I'm saying. We live in a backward society.
So how come
that-
when we treat women like that, then there's something wrong with
treat
it?
women like what?
Like they lie, cheat, and steal like a man.
Yeah.
Then there's something
That's a
wrong with
great
treating
question.
No.
women.
Because when you do, then you like, you're a womanizing.
Hold on.
and you do
Hold on, let me-
Something wrong with that.
Okay,
Like,
I'ma
if
tell you
all
why.
women lie, cheat, and steal
First
like
of
a
all,
man,
Okay, I'm not. That's not how I'm saying it. First of all, let's quit putting everybody in a box.
Okay.
We're all individuals. Let's
But
be
you
clear.
said women.
right?
I said that because
Because I said men. All men do it. I'm putting all
I don't
men
think
in
all
this
men
box.
do it.
And
This is what I'm,
Why? Because they don't want to get in trouble.
I think everybody does. But what I'm saying
Yes,
to you
that's
is
true.
this.
That's right.
If
You're
you
right,
are
you're
with,
right, you're right.
again, I'm going to go back to what you said about
Mhm.
when you're younger, if you're taught to get to know somebody,
Right.
then it's going to be hard for you to lie to me.
That's true.
Because I'm going to say, babe, I'm going to let you get that off, and then a couple days later, I'm going to say, so what was going on with you the other day? I feel like you was being untruthful. What's going on? Because I know you.
Right.
Like,
We got a
oh,
connection.
you
Yeah.
think
And we
that?
vibing like
I
that.
was telling you the truth.
And so I feel like,
So you say.
Rude, never
right.
admit.
but if you're in connection with somebody like that, then they
I'm
have,
just playing. I'm just-
then I feel like you should be able to say,
Mhm.
you should be able to say, man, and we talked about this on the podcast before,
Mhm.
bruh, like the other day, I was out with my boys, and since we ain't really in the place we should be, I was really thinking about like hitting this shit.
Yeah.
Like, we got to get this together, babe, because,
Yeah.
but we live in a society where we can't even be honest with each other.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
So I
The
agree
next
with you.
time you get ready to go out, she gonna bring that up and be like, nah, because you remember you told me the last
Well,
time.
that's-
But why can't she say? Why can't she say? Are we in a good place now? Because if we not, I don't think you should go out right now. Because
Yeah.
I don't want.
Right.
Why
That's
can't-
where the problem
it depends on how she
It
lives.
ain't what she says, it's how she says.
I agree. So I think one more time, going back to what you said. If we are friends first, and if we get the time, if we ain't doing these. Man, I've been with you 3, and I'm not saying you can't get to know somebody in 3 months. Sometimes people just got that connection. But it's anomalies to everything. But generally speaking, if we really got the chance to get to know people and quit trying to wipe people and husband people up, because society tells us that if you ain't married by a certain age or you ain't had a kid by a certain age, now you're rushing to do this, and now you got all these things going on. If you just take your time a little bit to get to know somebody, first yourself, because if you know yourself, it don't take long to know that ain't the person for you.
Exactly.
Dang.
Man,
Move on.
People fuck because they fine.
I'm not saying about effing. I'm talking about
That's what they
relationships.
do.
When you effing,
That's natural. I mean, we naturally have this inclination towards each other, men and women. I mean, we're
But
not.
it's gotta be more
We're,
than
we
that.
can't. We're naturally can't go long without having,
I'm
sex.
just
I mean,
saying,
that's
it's
what
gotta
it
be
is.
more than just she fine.
But
that might be the natural attraction. But after you see, I'm not attracted to that other stuff that you bring into the table. Move
So
on.
let me ask you this.
Get
Let's
it in
say
and move
let's
on.
say
I'm
that a
just
woman
playing.
breaks down. Let's say this is and let's say that a woman breaks down and then sleeps with a guy, and after she sleeps with him, they say this ain't the person for me. I did make a mistake, but I was too naturally drawn. I had to do it. Like, how long should it be before she takes another chance with somebody else?
It just depends on how.
I mean,
I
but what's
think-
the minimum time? What's the
I don't think
minimum
it's time. I think it's healing.
are you saying like
Forgiveness. Like if a dude do you dirty, I feel
Y'all
like.
even do you dirty. I'm not saying y'all didn't get
Well,
into a
she-
relationship.
I know,
She had
she was
sex with
gonna
one
think-
man.
all you-
How
she was
long
gonna
should it
think
be between
What I'm telling you
men
is
for
she's gonna
women?
use the word he did me dirty.
How long between men? How long should a woman go before she sleeps with a new man?
until she figure out who she is.
I
What are you? What are you?
mean?
I'm saying, what's the
I mean,
minimum?
the minimum. I mean, honestly,
At least,
I don't know. I think
honestly, when you think about when you think about what the minimum is,
She didn't. She didn't. Because you not.
How she?
I'm not sleeping with you. And then
So
the
in
next
that
day,
case,
all of a
it's
sudden,
about-
I took a nap and I found myself. In
So
the
then you
Once
think-
she realized that this
All right,
dude,
so that's good.
she slept with this
I like
dude,
what
she
I'm
made a
hearing from you.
mistake. She realized, oh, I'm not this person. I'm not that person. I realized who I am. I made a mistake.
And the next day,
well,
the
she
next
needs
day,
No,
she
she
needs to
had
go
somebody
back within
new.
herself and go figure out what she needs to do, so she won't keep going through the same situation.
right.
So at the end of the day, I just
But
believe that
what
once
if she
we,
come up with what I need to do is just go to a new bar.
I mean,
You know what I'm saying?
she didn't get
The
it.
dude I met at the last
Just
bar.
because I did,
The
okay, let's say
unmarried
she
women
did.
can't have sex.
No,
We're not saying that. I'm saying,
No, you
I don't
know.
believe that. I don't
You-
believe no.
what if you did
If
heal?
they're not healed, they have no
No.
business.
No,
having
they
sex.
don't.
But-
Exactly.
They
Now
don't.
I
But
So
who
agree.
determines if they heal?
Hold on
or
for a
not?
second. Hold on for a second. What if I didn't?
heal woman?
Hypothetically, I healed overnight. If you did heal overnight, then you know the next day, just because I meet this man, he's fine. That don't mean I should be getting it in with him.
Exactly.
I can't get to know you.
Okay, so we're saying one day is too soon. Now I just want to find out how long is not too soon. 2 weeks? Could she heal in 2 weeks?
I'm saying you could be healed, and when you are healed, then you know that I'm not about to just. If laying down with somebody is taking something
I
from
love
you,
you guys answer because y'all don't want to say.
No,
y'all,
let me
y'all
say
saying it should take a while. It should take a while. That's how one
Wait a
woman
minute.
think.
Wait a minute, Ahava. Wait a minute.
I would say 3 to 4 years. There you
Whoa.
go.
Oh,
I
thank
say 3 to 4 years. The only
you.
reason why
I'm
I
not
say
gonna
that
say
because
that.
Did you say 3 to 4
only,
minutes?
only reason why I said that is because
Thank
this
you.
is
That was
where
a great
I
answer.
learned this from reading the Quran. Like when a woman is involved, but that's the thing though. You talking about just sound like a one night stand and then
Yeah.
ooh, da, da, da. Now I don't know about that. but
Yeah,
when a
because
woman
that don't got nothing to do with. That don't have nothing to do with nothing but
If she
physical.
has a
shit.
one night stand, it should take her 3 to 4 years in order for her to have another one.
No, she not having. That's. Are you asking? Wait a minute. Let's back up.
That's what.
this-
So is
is
that
this-
not what you're saying?
Let me
I
ask.
mean, that's. I mean,
I can't.
Hey, that's-
so I'm
that's-
saying I'm going to say that only because when it comes to when a woman has intercourse with a man, his energy and spirit is still on her and in her. And it kind of takes a while for a woman to clear that energy on top of her actually going in and healing within self. So from what I've learned is that a woman should take at least 3 to 4 years before she wants to deal or commit herself to another man.
So I guess my question for you is: are you asking about physical stuff? Or are you asking it about sleeping and being with a man for the purpose of building with him?
Just is sleeping with another man.
So you're saying that I had sex with a man, a one night stand. Well, to me, that one night stand wasn't. I don't know. Like that one night stand was just for some physical
Yeah.
stuff.
If a woman
So
is
you
just, she
don't-
just wants to be physical and just sleeps with a man.
because she wants some.
Yeah, because she
And
wants
she
some.
don't.
Because
So
she
That's
wants
okay, she can do it every day.
that don't have nothing to do with healing or anything. It has something to do with I want sex.
Yeah.
Okay, but I'm asking you,
Yeah.
on your moral compass, how long should it take for her to sleep with another man?
I never had a one night stand, so I don't know nothing about it.
All I'm saying.
Her moral conscience should
She
tell
don't-
her
I
that
have
she
to
don't need to be
understand.
doing that again.
Thank you.
So-
How long do you think it should take her to do it again?
3 to 4 years.
She shouldn't
Okay,
have.
that's all
3 to
I'm
4
saying,
years.
right?
Wait a minute. 3 to 4 years to have another one night stand.
No,
Oh,
okay,
another
so
one,
we
yes.
have-
Another one night stand,
No,
relationship, anything.
See,
Anything.
now-
Once she has sex with somebody, she's committed to that person, whether she's with them or not. I'm talking about like, not committed, but I'm saying like she can't approach another relationship or so don't blow it. Don't have a one night stand. If you have sex with somebody, you better be willing to stay with that person because when you don't, you're done for
So
4
this
years.
is what I think. This is what. Hold on. This is what I think.
Basically,
I think
3 to 4.
I think
3 to
men are
4.
women. If we taught men and women that when you lay down with somebody,
Mhm.
you should think about being with him forever.
Yes.
Because the child may come from
That's
it.
right.
Then we, as men and women, maybe,
Yes.
would just be thinking different about this whole sex thing in the first place. Because everything feels good, right?
You're right.
Sex feels good. Crack may be good to people.
Yeah.
Just because it's good and
Yeah,
it
that
feels
mean
good
you
and you
need to
want
keep
it all the
doing it.
time. Right. Like, sometimes you have to, that's part of being grown. When you call yourself a grown-ass woman or man, it's about taking time to understand that I have to.
Would society be stronger if people did take sex more seriously?
Yes.
And said, if I'm gonna sleep with this person, it's all I get for 3 or 4 years. So
She
they
gonna
would
keep-
try to make because I like that math. To
No, if
be
I'm going to
honest,
sleep with somebody, I'm going to be committed to
To them,
them. And
exactly.
I feel like commitment is y'all are together. This is
Right.
what it is.
exactly.
Forever.
Don't
If-
have
I
one
think
night
if-
stands.
I think if
One night
everybody-
stands is nothing that we should be having.
At all. Like,
I
that's
think
where
if
the
women-
music come in at.
Women shouldn't be doing it.
Men shouldn't do it either. There shouldn't nobody
I
do
think if when you talk about the family unit, if we talk, if a society pushed, when you sleep with somebody, you're gonna have to stick with them for at least 18 years. If society pushed that, then I think the family unit would be stronger.
Exactly. It would be stronger.
Yeah.
Okay,
You
okay. Let's say
okay.
society push that,
Uh,
and then this guy go out and he sleep with more than one woman and get more than one woman pregnant. And does he have to be with both of them for 18 years, or does he have to choose one and leave
Yeah.
one alone?
I think
you gotta
this.
do with both of them.
Hold on, I think this.
Mm.
I think that men would
Gotta
say,
choose one and leave one alone.
I think a man would
That's
say,
wrong.
I ain't about to be dealing with these 2 women for 18 years, so I'm gonna think twice about having sex with 2 women back to
Exactly.
back.
Yeah, because you know what come with that.
But you know what?
Sometimes.
Men have logic after.
But that's
After they
because
do
y'all are
the wrong
reared
thing.
different. Y'all are reared that it's okay to go out here and fuck all these hoes. Sorry. And spread your seeds.
Yeah.
Women aren't taught that. But if society didn't teach that, and we actually taught that you gotta respect your body too, because I think that a man who was going out sleeping with everybody
I think
else,
it's different, though.
I don't
It's
think
different.
so. I don't think so. I
It's
think
more. It's
I don't think
for
so.
a woman to get gone into is more.
so. You think a man respects himself when he out here sleeping with a whole bunch of women? He
No.
doesn't.
No,
No,
it doesn't.
not bad women. No.
What?
I
wait,
mean,
wait.
a
What does that
man
mean?
a man that's out here sleeping with
This is fine.
a bunch of like
Just women, period.
low-
Let's say a whole bunch of doctors or whatever you deem as a good woman.
and he's
What?
being dishonest about it. I think it's wrong.
I mean, I just believe.
If
Well, I'm
he's
not
being
saying right
dishonest-
or wrong. I'm saying I feel like when
I
a
don't
man,
think there's a way for a woman to have sex with a lot of partners, and I'd still consider that to be okay.
unfortunately, you don't know.
I'm just saying that's
I
how
mean,
I
you
look
don't
at
know.
it.
I mean,
But I
it's
think
not
that
okay. It's
look,
a
with
way.
the-
There's a scenario where you would think that that's okay.
There's no scenario where I think that
if a man had
It's
the
not
approval,
okay
if
either
a
way.
man, no, hold on,
Right,
wait a
right.
minute. If a man came to women and say, listen, even if he likes them all, and he says, like, I am just interested in more than one woman. And the women are saying, like, not saying I'm gonna have sex with you and never see you again, but this is just the person that I am. If all the women said, we understand that, that's cool. Just say they came up with that. To me, that is not that man being a bad person.
I don't think you're a bad person.
Okay, but I think, and I don't see it like devaluing him as a
I don't
as a
think
man.
you're devalued either.
But if one woman came to 5
We're
men, if one woman came to 5 men and said, listen, I like sleeping with more than one man, and all the men agreed with it, and then she let all of those men have sex with her, I think that
That's
that
worse.
lowers her value. I
So
think
let
it
me
does.
ask you a question. When
We
you're-
all agree?
I don't. But can I ask you?
Do you agree?
I mean,
I think it lowers both their
I don't
values.
agree with that only
If you-
because again, it's about again we have to actually look
Men
at. I
and
think
women
we
are
I-
different.
Hold on. Hold on. Let her go. Let her go. You
We have
asked
to go back to actually looking at the meaning and the definition of things and why we do things. Like at the end of the day, I truly believe that men men have a issue with commitment. So it's hard for them to just commit to one woman. A lot of men don't want to be, they feel like with one woman it's like holding them down or something like that. So it's like
It just goes against creation, though.
I don't believe it's
That's
going
what
to
you tell yourself to be able to
you
give yourself
you
the
can be
excuse
with
to have
one
sex
woman and have you
It
can be
goes
with one
against
woman.
nature,
You can
though.
go, you can be with one woman and have multiple children. So you gotta understand, what is your intentions on having sex? What is your intentions? What
are you looking for? When you have sex with
Listen,
women, what are you looking
Sex
for?
gets perverted. Sex.
No, I'm
gets
asking
mutilated.
you as a person, like, no, for real. Don't go into all that extra stuff.
No,
When
I'm
you
telling
are,
Mhm.
when you want to have sex with a woman,
Right,
right?
right.
What if there's 10 women right there? Why do you want to have sex with all 10 of them?
I don't know that I want to have sex with myself.
Well, in the scenario you gave, any man,
Yeah.
maybe not you. The scenario you gave, when a
Well,
man,
we're men.
why
I
do
think
you?
that it's a drive. It's I don't know how
It's
to
an ego
explain
drive.
it.
It's
It's
a
a
I don't
drive
think
because
it's
you-
not. It's not.
You're saying
It's
it's
not
a
an
drive
ego.
because
It has nothing to do with ego.
So it's a drive because of your sex drive.
It has
But you have
everything
to-
to do with urge.
Okay, you have
It's
to
the
control
urge
your
to
urges.
create.
Okay,
It's the urge. No, you
No,
have an
create
urge
what?
to
Children?
procreate.
I
Yes.
wish you could be in my body.
Yes. Yes. Men don't understand it. Listen, they're not understanding what's happening to them. But all women have it too. Women's bodies come
So
like
basically, what you're
like
saying
we're
is
all
we-
born to create.
You want men
Yeah.
to go against what's natural. And
It's
what's
not
actually-
about
hold on,
going
wait,
against
wait,
what's
wait,
natural.
wait,
I don't
let it
understand.
cook.
Let it cook.
Let
Let it cook. Let it
Because-
cook. We're not saying that it's not, but your
because if
urge
he
isn't
said
as
that this
strong.
is-
though.
this
You're
is the
lying to
urge.
yourself.
Well,
You
I
don't
guess you
know.
Wait,
can.
how you say that it's
You
lying to
can't
yourself?
quantify our urge.
You
That's
can't
like
quantify
you're lying to yourself about being a crackhead.
No, I'm asking y'all men.
How you
How
gonna
do
tell
y'all
a
know what our
crackhead
sex
lying to
drive
themselves? They
is?
don't really
How do
know.
y'all know what our sex drive is?
What do you mean?
How do y'all know?
We're not
Well,
saying that
well,
about yourself.
he is.
There's,
He
I
is.
am because I'm looking at things from just from what I've seen in life, from how I see things approached, from how men behave compared to how women
So
behave.
you don't think that has anything to do with
So
how society has
why does it happen?
Exactly.
Why? But hold on.
Yeah,
Why?
there you go.
Why? No, I don't.
You're
Why-
right, Gray.
Yeah.
No, excuse me. It's
I'm
not.
sorry, I
It's
shouldn't
not.
have said that.
It's not. But
That's
what
me
you're
being
saying
unhealed.
though, what you're
Sorry,
saying,
I touched you.
what you're saying is a
It really
possible
is.
idea, right? But what I'm trying to tell you is, I think that the societal norm has like come from the observation of nature, and then we seen how things was, and then society kind of just like massaged that idea, because there's plenty of societies around the world. Plenty of people have different marriage standards. Plenty of people have different traditions. Okay, but you normally don't see the behavior of like women acting as thirsty as what men do.
Because we're not allowed to.
But in no society,
Yeah,
I
it's
mean, we're not. It's
I
not. It's
haven't
not in
been
the
in all
woman's nature
societies.
to be a chaser and not a
but
woman.
why does a man and a
Not
woman's
allowed to.
sexual like
We're
nature
not
have to
allowed.
be
We're not
equal?
taught that. Let me
Why
tell you.
why does it have to be
I'm gonna
equal?
tell- wait, he has a
So, but
question.
why are we fighting for it to be equal when all the evidence shows that it's not?
Right.
And it's not like I'm just
I don't-
making this stuff up. Like this is
The evidence has shown that what men and women are
that
equal.
men have a much more like desire to have
Can I ask you a question?
multiple
What-
sex partners
what-
and create. That is their purpose,
I
and the
guess it all
women are supposed to
depends on
create
who-
too.
what you're saying when you. It all depends on what you mean when you're saying that the man has an urge to have a craving for multiple sex partners, or actually being able to
have sex.
have sex. Like, what's the
Women
difference?
don't
You want to-
sexualize men on TV and none of they stuff.
Can
Like
I ask you a question?
men
though?
only think about that shit. That's all. Men is like 100%.
So-
Look up the
so
data
me-
about it.
Can I ask you a question though?
That's not.
You
good,
don't
though.
think that we live in a
Is
misogyny?
how is it not good?
Can I
when
ask
you-
you a question though?
Okay, yeah.
So, let me say this to you. From a long period of time now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Women, we got the second chance to vote.
Right.
Women were put here to serve men.
Mm-hmm.
All these things have been taught.
Right. In all societies all over the world.
I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that because I haven't been in all societies.
All I'm saying is like men are mostly in rulership all over the world, and in control of countries and stuff like that.
So do you know any countries where women are in control? Because there are.
I'm not saying that
Wait,
women don't
hold on.
deserve to
Hold-
be.
wait
I'm
a
not
minute.
saying they
Hold
don't
on.
deserve
I
to
didn't
be,
say
but I'm
that.
saying that how all I'm giving
How
you
about-
the juice.
Wait, no,
I'm
no,
agreeing
no.
with you.
Hold on,
I'm agreeing with
when
you.
we're having this conversation, I want you to act like I'm not a woman. Act like I'm a man talking to you because I'm not coming from you from a place of
Yeah.
I'm trying to say go women.
Okay.
I'm coming from you from a place of just basic
We
facts.
just talking. Okay. Right.
Okay?
Right.
So can I make my voice deeper? I wish I could.
I got you.
What I'm saying to you is this. Can we please entertain the fact that we live in a society that's male dominated? Just like we live in a society in America, I'm talking about American society that is dominated by white supremacy. So, if we can say that textbooks have taught white people that are doctors, like doctors have actually said, I read in textbooks that black women have more pain tolerance. So, because of that, we have a higher death mortality when it comes to giving childbirth. How come we can't come to the terms of society, this male-dominated society has taught you that these things that you believe about women.
Yeah.
So because of that, and he asked me a question.
I'm not,
Hold on, wait,
I
let me
don't
say
think
this.
what I think based on society like
How
that.
do you know
though.
Right,
that?
because
'Cause that's-
based on observance, you can observe.
I'm just
things
Hold on.
and have
Okay, let me
your
say
own
this.
opinions.
He
Right,
asked.
observing.
are you? But that's the thing.
He-
Like, do you know what you're really observing?
He asked me a question. He said,
I mean,
he,
come on.
hold on, let me say
We're
this.
observing.
I
We're
mean-
observing what we're observing.
Okay, but do you think that just like she said though, like do you not not saying it like that?
Yeah, I hear
but
you
like
what
you
you're
know
saying.
you gotta understand as well that do you really actually believe that we're actually looking at what we really should know? Like is this the actual fact? Just because we see it don't mean this is actual facts on how we should operate.
So look, he asked a question.
I'm talking about me, my own self.
Hold on, listen real quick.
Observation of my own self, my own thoughts.
Real quick. I said, we're taught. He said, how are you? When I was growing up, I was a tomboy. My grandma was calling me fast all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You fast. You always around them boys. I wasn't looking at them boys like I wanted to get it in. I wanted to play football. I wanted to play basketball. But society told me I shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah.
I'm being fast. So so what I'm saying is a lot of girls are taught, sit down, be quiet, like chill out. What are you doing? That's not how a lady acts. So what you're seeing is what society has taught us to make y'all make us more desirable.
This I will say this. This is what I observed, and this is what I think. I think that to have that first initial time when men and women come together and have sex, I think that men want that more. Like men want more strange. But I think that when like the sex actually happens, I think that either person could have a higher sex drive to want to go around to want to go. Like I can't take that away from women. I'm not saying that, but I do think that men are more thirsty than women. And I don't. And you disagree.
I think so too.
Of course, I would think that because you
Do
guys
you
are men.
disagree with that?
I do disagree with that.
Do you disagree with
Let me
that?
say this.
Angela?
We need to have more self-control because we have taught to be at it. Let me tell you something. We can go on a date with a guy. We can see a guy in the club or in the church or it's anywhere and be like, ooh. But we would never, ever. Sometimes we didn't even say it to our girlfriend. Because we have
That a
been.
man would.
Right, and
I
that's
know
what
because
he's
y'all
trying
are
to
taught that
say.
it's okay to do
Yeah,
it.
it's okay. I mean, the man
Men are
naturally.
not taught that that's
Oh my
okay.
jeez.
Okay, well,
It's more acceptable.
The
Men are
men,
taught
the
that
men,
that's okay.
Okay,
Men-
but men are
you don't think it's more
men
acceptable?
naturally go after women. That's what they do. Women are
Right,
made.
I agree with
Women are made to be more
But
like
that's all we've been saying.
self-preserve and preserve herself and let a man come to her.
But that doesn't mean
So
we
what
don't
are you
want
saying
it.
I mean,
different?
yeah, we
What are you saying
may
different
want
than
it,
what
but
we
as far
saying?
as like
What y'all are saying different is that
wanting more, I guess I can't speak on it because I'm not a man.
It's beautiful for the woman
I
to
mean,
not.
I
But that's
Actions, though, but we're talking about
But you know what,
observing
though?
actions.
We cannot,
We're
Roger.
saying
But I
just
don't even
because
want
the
a
simple
woman
fact
that wants it. I don't want
does
a
all
woman.
the
I
things
don't want a.
and a
That's
woman
the point.
doesn't.
So you don't think?
Then
So
the
do
man
you want a
wants
I
woman
don't
to
want
be
her to
truthful?
fake it.
So you don't? Do you want a woman to be
No.
truthful
I
with
want
you?
a real woman that does not want multiple men to sleep with her.
What I'm asking you this is what I'm asking you is this.
But if your man,
we don't want that either.
shit, you listen, you don't want.
No,
hold on, let
but
me tell you
no.
something. Let me
But
tell
it
you,
happens,
please.
I
Let me
guess.
tell you this. You don't even know what you want, because if you had a man that didn't want women and didn't have that testosterone
I didn't say
and
he
that
didn't want 'em, we
real
said
ass
take it off.
thrive of a man, you don't want this nigga. You don't want no man that does not have that dog in him.
That's fine. He can have that
But he
dog in
shouldn't-
it, but he
but
needs
you
to have
can't
some
say that-
self-control.
He does
A
have
man needs to know
self-control.
how to have self-control.
He
That's
You're
does.
putting words in our mouth. We didn't say we didn't want a man
There's
who's
a
not
few
a
things. There's a few things
I don't want a woman that got that dog in her
Okay,
though.
we're not meant to have that dog in us. It's all about self-control.
But a woman
My
wants
whole-
the man that got to
Okay,
have that
that's
dog in
fine.
it,
It's
regardless
okay
of
for a man to
self-control.
I think it's okay for a man to naturally want to be or look at another woman. But if you don't have enough self-control,
Yes,
you ain't a
to
man, you're a
yourself,
boy.
to hold yourself accountable to this
He
one
does
woman,
need to have
then
discipline.
something else.
Men-
Just like a
men
woman
have
should
to have
hold
dis-
herself
they-
accountable
no,
to one man.
A man needs to have discipline, okay? But what I'm trying to say is the breaking up of family
Oh, my Jesus.
has a lot to do with the man
That's not
can't
allowed, y'all.
even speak his nature, lest he be described as
So
a
why don't
disparaging type name.
can I ask-
And here I have to men are okay. We just like.
Can I ask you a
we
question?
thirsty.
Can
We're
I ask
just
you?
thirsty. I'm
Can I ask you a
sorry.
question? The same. Can I ask you this question? Do you want a woman to be honest with you, or do you want her
No,
to?
not all the time.
Okay.
Oh,
So do you want? So which?
Why?
Nobody really wants.
I
You want
don't.
nobody to be honest with you?
I don't want a woman to make me better. To make me better, yes, but
About her feelings is what I'm saying, and this
Yeah.
along the lines of this
I do.
subject.
I want her to be honest
So
with me.
do
If
you?
a woman came to me and said, I want to be with more than one person, and I wouldn't want to stop her from doing that, to be honest.
But what if-
But me, that's not the woman for me,
So what if
and
she?
that's okay too.
So let me ask you this question though: how many people on this earth do you think want? I'm gonna ask you two questions.
Mhm.
Don't go into
All right,
super
all
duper
right,
detail.
all right.
How many people do you think on this earth, people, men and women, generally speaking, do you think want more than one person?
At least half or more.
How many you think actually act on it?
Out of the 50%, probably 50%.
So I guess what I'm saying is we all want stuff. And this ain't nothing different in my opinion.
Right.
So I feel like and I don't think anything's wrong with having more than one wife.
Mhm.
If those wives want to be in a situation where they're more than one.
Let me tell you where the problem is. To just go back to your illustration, or a different illustration. A woman, let's say that cheeseburgers make us fat. Okay.
They do.
A woman want 2 cheeseburgers, 3 cheeseburgers. I'll give her 4 cheeseburgers. Okay. In this particular illustration, the man
I'm trying to follow you.
the man wants multiple, like he wants 100 burgers.
Okay.
Okay, so there's the difference. Yes, they both want more, but the drive and the thing that the man wants is multiplied so much more that
So it's harder for you.
it overwhelms. His cup overflows, and all of this action.
So
shit
let's take
comes out.
sex out of it. What's something you think a woman wants more than a man? Let's not talk about sex. What's something that you think a woman naturally wants more than a man?
I think women want to be admired by their women. What do women? I think women want love,
I would say
I think-
marriage.
marriage.
But do you think?
And
But do you think they want that? Do you
happiness,
think? Okay, let me
happiness. We all
rephrase.
just want happiness.
Let me
We
rephrase.
all want happiness.
Let
I
me
think
rephrase
women
because-
want to be married more than men.
Hold on, but let me rephrase. Do you think women want to be married more than men because if they're not by a certain age, they're looked at as? Because I've heard men say multiple
I
times.
don't think it's
Dang,
like how people look at them. I think it's how they see themselves.
So hold on for a second, because I've heard men that I'm around say about even Angela Rye, man, she fine. I wonder why she not married. Or something got to be wrong when you're 30 and you're not married yet. It couldn't be because I want to finish my school. I don't want to have kids yet until. But society tells us if we're not married by a certain age, we're kind of like, what's wrong with her? People start asking, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Because women stop being able to produce at a certain age.
But that's hold on,
So
Roger.
it's
Hold
like
on for a
if you're not,
second.
hold on, wait, because if you're not married by a certain age, if you got a time limit
What's
on,
the age?
if you got a time limit on being able to create a family, then you should. There's a time limit on marriage. That's just natural.
So what's the age that women? What's the age that women can't have kids anymore?
I don't know. I think it's around 50.
Okay, so if it's around 50, how come when you're like 28, people are wondering why you're not married yet?
Because
From a woman, and I want y'all to.
that's American stuff, man.
But what I'm telling y'all, men, I really wish y'all would hear me on this. I really wish you would. Society tells us different things than they tell y'all. If we're, and I'm not just talking about men telling us this.
Right.
What's the
Women,
point for that though? Saying
because you said that women want to be married more than men. But I think a lot of women's wants in society come from what society has told
They're
us.
ashamed in
makes
wanting to be
us-
married.
Makes us a woman. It makes us desirable. It makes us what y'all want us to be. So from the gist, grandma, women tell us this too. Like we're reared to perform and to be a certain way so a man wants them. When in all actuality, like she said, y'all are the chasers. To be animalistic with it, we're the prey, y'all the predators. So what he said earlier, if women, and what she said,
Right.
he said it in a different way. If women would hurt themselves to a certain standard, an old guy told me a long time ago, men do stuff for PUSSY.
The power of the PUSSY.
Yes, do what you're supposed to. So
That's
if
the
that
song.
is the case,
Right.
society, you said has it
Everything that
backwards.
men do is to get the attraction and the attention of women.
So
For
if
the
that
most
is
part.
the case, if that is the case, why has society told us to be all these different ways to get y'all?
Because for some reason men have implemented their program on society and how we act. But women are in real control. Like women could upgrade men exactly like what the sis said. If women said, I want a man that is righteous, full of wisdom, and we not accepting nothing less, men would be studying every sacred text in the world, and the man who was the smartest and most disciplined would attract the women. Like so,
But I think that's
but
the
women
problem.
are more interested in drugs.
Can you say your
And
question again? Do you remember?
Oh,
What
right.
did you ask him? Because you said, what do you think that... Do you remember what you said?
Which one? Just ask.
What you just asked him his question. Or you had said something about
Society,
yeah, society, yeah. Like I don't remember what you said, but I wanted to say something on that. Like,
So can I? Do you have children?
yes, I have one. Mm-hmm.
Is it a boy or a girl?
A boy.
Do you got boys and girls?
Mhm.
Do you teach your boys different things about marriage and sex and things than you do about to your girl?
yeah,
So
I mean, I don't teach them
Oh,
different. I teach them my same philosophy. Go ahead before you.
forget it.
Okay, yeah. So I believe that because you were saying like the difference of what we're being taught, society is starting to or it's funny is society is striving to rear the woman as a sex tool to me
Mhm.
in order to lower the dominance of the man, because if the man is always staying in this space of, I want to say, lust and craving, it kind of, in a way, devalues the actual mindset of the man and what he's truly is meant to do. It's okay for a man to have those urges and all that. But I think because the way society has reared us, and I definitely believe as far as like the difference that we are taught, the women taught this, the men is taught that. It's really like we're being programmed in order for us to be a certain way, so we don't be able to elevate in our own aspects in our own way.
But okay, let me rock with you because that's an interesting point that you just made, right? But I'm gonna bring this right back around. I'm gonna sit this right here for
Okay.
you.
Dun, dun, dun. Whenever he does something like that, you
the
gotta
honor-
dun, dun, dun.
Oh Lord.
The honorable
Drink some water.
the honorable Elijah Muhammad. This was a bro that brought a lot of people together. He was making men better, putting them on a path of righteousness. But from what I'm understanding, Malcolm X, seeing that Elijah Muhammad had women, he had children, and for whatever reason, I don't think Malcolm X observed that to be how things should be. So they had a nasty falling out. But the point is, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad had these same type of cravings. He loved women. He was a powerful man. Powerful men are going to be magnetic towards women. They're going to like that a lot, you know? And so I don't think, I'm just basically saying, I don't think just because men have a strong drive, if they got like a lot of will and have big families, you know what I'm saying, with multiple women, I don't think that takes away from them being strong. And I don't think it makes them a goofy. It's part of life
what do you
that
think
men have. Like they can compartmentalize that and
But
still be great.
But my thing.
But
is,
can you compartmentalize?
But my
You
thing.
can,
But
yes, you
one
don't have
thing
to
I'm
be
gonna say about
like
this, and I'm gonna
a
leave it
prostitute
as that.
picker-upper.
One thing I'm gonna say about this, I'm gonna leave it as that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be real. It takes a particular man to be able to carry on more than one wife.
I think so. Absolutely.
He had a particular duty that he had to serve in order to be able to bring the nation to even where it's at now. Unfortunately, because of the natural, what we naturally have, we have this ego within us. You know, that was the discord, you know, and that was the actual test. And my viewpoint with that. But I just believe that all men don't have the mental capacity, because you got to also understand what comes with actually being able to take care of more than one woman.
Most men can't keep one.
Exactly.
So, Ahava, what do you think? Top 5 characteristics of a man, like, makes, I don't want to say makes him powerful, but makes him like a man. Like if you're gonna say drive, are you gonna say self control? Are you gonna say what makes, do you think, a man a man? Top 5 or top 3?
I say,
like, what would you teach your son? Like, when you become a man, you need to make sure you.
I mean, there's a lot of top
I mean, you
shelf.
too. I want to ask
There's
you
a lot.
that too.
I mean, you might want to start with love. You might want to start with
Loving of self or what? Like taking everybody else out of it.
I would just say just to have just love in general. To me, this is the things that I think is good. But then you want somebody that is like, I think wisdom should be in there. Of course, you want somebody that's motivated, confident, faithful. They have to be able to know how to put things together, man. You know, like go after that shit, like goal oriented.
So do you think? So what about you?
I would say to the top three things of being a man would probably be responsibility, accountability, and
Like that.
what was uh being responsible, being accountable, and being able to provide for yourself.
So with that said, right? Like, I feel both of y'all on that.
Mm-hmm.
So being responsible, being accountable, loving, all of these things, I feel like when if a man brought that to the table, right? Then that then that thing about my wants, and I feel like you're a child when you succumb to all your wants all the damn time. Like you a little crybaby. Like that's what a child does. I want this. I want that. I should be able to get it. Y'all didn't. So I feel like if you are a man and you're accountable, you're responsible, you're showing love, you're doing all the things that you guys said. Like we act like do all of this except when it comes to sex. You know what I'm saying? I feel like God put all kinds of things out here for you guys to want, for you guys to naturally be geared toward. However, I think what distinguishes the man from the boy is respect. So I don't think you can. I don't think that you. I think that you can have sex with multiple. Wait a minute. I think that you can have sex with multiple women, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think the problem comes because men aren't being accountable. They're not being responsible. They're not being responsible with a woman's
Well, let's say it a different way then. What about having multiple wives?
That too. I think that, let me say this. I'm not against none of that. Like she said, it takes a real grown ass man to be able to carry those things out.
Well,
and
what
I
about
think
the
that
woman is stopping him from being a grown ass man
Then
because
that's not
she's
a
making
woman.
him being
I don't
sneaky?
hold on 1 second. This is what I think. Going back to the friend thing, right? And you knowing yourself.
Yeah,
I think that
if we had the situation where we had arranged marriages and kids was coming up together and becoming a married couple, then I don't think the necessity would be as high to have more than one wife. Like these are two different ways that marriages could be successful. Either the building of the family, like guys with a bunch of baby mamas, like if they was to all come together and work out a business together or work something out, not live together, but just be, y'all got kids together anyway, let's come together, be on one accord and operate as a unit instead of being not, you don't have to be, you don't have to be, if that's doing too much, because like you said, people are not robots, so you can't tell a woman, don't be angry, don't be jealous, don't be this or that. But once the deal is done, you know, after it's like, okay, he does, because women do get with men that's got more than one, that's got a child. Like if a man breaks up, then okay, me and you together now, then they have a child. Like it would be better if they could come together as a unit.
Listen, I agree with you.
Yeah.
But when we talk about responsibility and accountability, I feel like sometimes men and women, if we would take accountability for the pain and the suffering and whatever else you want to call you caused in the situation you did when you but let's go back to this truthful thing and this friend thing, right? If I'm just like if you're looking for a certain thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if me and you are dating and you're talking about, you know, I'm a person who thinks I'm polyamorous, or I feel like I would want more than one wife, and I'm on then I'm out. Then kick me to the curb, and I don't mean it like that, but I mean
that's right.
I'm not for you.
Right.
So,
that's true.
But that's not what happens.
Right. Men are wrong for that.
And I'm not only saying men. I'm saying if
women, men, but mainly
but
men.
after the fact, let's say after the fact, right? We have these multiple kids. I would love it if whoever I get with next, if they had a kid and I have a ex-husband or whatever, I don't disagree with you. I just don't think that I should come together in the same household because
Yeah, I don't
I
think the same house.
but I
would
do
work.
agree with
But
you.
it could. I mean, the same house might work until they could like work together, all save enough money, and then if the
But in that
other
same
wife wants to go-
household, guess who's in that same household? As a man, you're not gonna want me to have my relationship, are you?
What you mean?
So
If me and you have a child, I don't want you to go move to
so
another
if
house
I'm
and get a
one,
new
no,
relationship.
if I'm one of your 4
Uh-huh.
children's mothers,
Right.
and you're like, let's come together,
Yeah.
and we all agree, and we're all together getting along, but I still want that companionship and want a husband. You're not. That how's that gonna work?
You go to
Yeah.
his
I mean,
household.
Huh?
So you would go to his house.
That's what I'm saying.
But you don't take that man's kids to another man's household.
You talk my kids, our kids,
Right.
the ones that I carried in my
Right.
belly. So
You
they're
don't take-
yours. They're not
You
mine.
don't take his kids
I
to
know
another
you
man's
better.
household and then put that
We
man's
good?
kids
Okay.
in this household. It's almost like a
getting there,
company. Like you build a company with this. You and this person start a company. Y'all get this company off the ground. This company get going, and then you decide you want to go and start another company. Then you don't.
Or we both decide that this company we're having, we want to break.
Well, one person decides that they want to go and start another company. You know what I'm saying? So now this company is over here running fine, and he over here, and this person go and starts another company. Then you can't just take these resources that you're getting from this first company and then share.
So you're saying if I'm over
you can't
here,
mix the resources.
so you're saying if I have kids with him and everything Gucci, because we're built and whatever, and now all of a sudden I'm like, you got, yeah, let's say the other women are all okay with y'all doing it and whatever,
Mhm.
and I'm like, I want companionship, I want to go, and you're like, cool, but my kids can't go that I carried in my belly. Is that what you're saying?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Why do you think that's okay?
Because if these kids are over here and they're being raised in this household, and now you're taking these kids out of this household and you're bringing them over here to this other household, a brand new household that they don't know nothing about, and this man in his house, and this is their father. Now you could go over there and you can have. I mean, your kids
may
can
cause
come visit
some
you.
confusion.
But don't it cause confusion with him, with the other women also?
Because no, not if everybody's in the same household.
But I'm saying to you, that's not how it initially began. He
Yeah.
initially began with one woman and a child. Then he got
Another one
and another child. So that they got to use to. That's the problem. Like she said, the children suffer because here's the thing: when you're doing that, right? They got to get used to all these different women and their personalities and the way they rear children and the way they nurture children or not nurture children.
Let me ask y'all something.
That's
Let
all
me-
too
let me-
much.
Look, y'all, we got 10 minutes left. all
Okay.
right? Or even less.
You
But-
ain't taking my kids. I'm gonna just
but-
put that on blast. I'm just
I didn't say
They're my babies. Okay, go ahead. We got 10 minutes.
Kendrick Lamar versus Drake. Y'all have heard this?
Yep.
So, all right. Last night, Drake's security guard was shot outside of his house. Do you think Kendrick Lamar has something to do with it?
No.
No.
Absolutely not, right?
Not.
They said he broke past in his Lamborghini.
Okay.
Of course they would
say
say
a lot
that.
of things.
Shot
You know
the
they
house
kind
up.
Of course they would say that.
That's what they do.
I'm just kidding, y'all. I'm just kidding.
You
Okay,
funny.
so yeah.
I feel like it's what you said earlier.
Well, they said they
They're
looked like
taking
the
this
shooter on
opportunity. Earlier you said, not on this podcast, but when we had this conversation, you said that Drake haters are taking this opportunity to bust at him because now they're going to automatically think it's Kendrick.
Yeah.
I think that's more likely than Kendrick doing it.
Damn, okay. Okay.
I agree with that more than I agree with Kendrick. Kendrick ain't on that. He done already bodied him. He already killed him in rhymes. Every time I hear Drake on the radio now, I think about him as a colonizer. I think about
I
him.
hear you say nigga no more.
So, all right. Well, let me ask you
So-
this: Do you think that Drake is actually a pedophile, like Kendrick Lamar is saying in these songs.
I can't speak on that because I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I
on that.
wouldn't put it past him, but I don't. Like, I can't speak on it.
Do you think
So,
Kendrick
if
is
you-
a woman beater? Like
I wouldn't
Drake
put it past him, but I can't speak on that either.
so I don't know.
If even though this is even look, this is a rap battle.
Oh,
Come on, let me hear what you got.
I don't think we seeing the significance of what Kendrick Lamar is saying
Okay.
about Drake. We got to understand Drake's background.
Mm-hmm.
What, he a Jew, right?
Yeah.
Let's look into these Jews, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So when he said pedophile, that instantly brought up Jews. So it's a bigger significance than what we see it as. I really don't believe it's a diss between them. I think it's a diss between what's
Who
really
he?
what's really taking place. Is at the end of the day, we know that the Jews run the industry.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Ooh, so pedophilia in a different way.
That's how I took that. I
didn't think
feel
about
like
it.
it's deeper than how we're seeing it.
It's not the surface level pedophile.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Dang,
let me
that's
say this
crazy.
though.
That's
Even
deep.
though this is a rap battle, is it out of bounds for Kendrick Lamar to call him a pedophile if he's not?
So this is,
Just saying this it's a rap battle, so I can say anything, or should this be off limits saying something like that? about somebody?
I heard this on the radio.
Even if he's not, it's still okay.
I heard
It's
this
a
on the
rap
radio.
battle.
A guy said it's like having a
I'm
street
just
fight.
asking.
It's like having a street fight.
I don't
Somebody,
think it's okay, but I want to say my point. I don't think that's if Drake is not a for sure pedophile, and you got receipts for it.
Hey,
think
sometimes
that-
you ain't gotta. Sometimes you ain't gotta be. Sometimes you ain't gotta be an actual pedophile in order to be called pedophile. You might just be connected to those that are.
or you might be complacent in allowing people to act in pedophilia actions.
Or even if that's just
So
like
I'm
she
saying
said,
if he didn't do
it's
it, you think it's still okay? 'Cause
It's
it's
a
No, what
rap
I'm
battle.
saying is this. What I'm saying is this. I heard on the radio this guy say it's like saying there's people fight on the street and going in and this guy getting his ass whooped and then he pick up a stick, a big one, and start beating it. You shouldn't have picked up that stick. Like, this is a rap battle. Who are the moral rap police to say what can and can't be
Yeah,
said?
you went too far.
I think when it comes to, I don't think nothing is too far in a rap battle.
I think it's
I
going too
agree.
far when
I
you
don't
start
think it's- I
shooting
don't
and
think it's
killing
right.
people.
That's what I
That's
think.
when rap battles go too
When
far.
it be,
As far as you talking about it and then like, so if I call you a bitch
so the
ass
comedians go
nigga,
too
if I call
far.
you a bitch ass nigga and you ain't really a
I
bitch
think-
ass nigga,
I
is
think
that too
that-
far?
Do comedians
all
go?
I'm saying
This
is
is how you think
all
about
I'm
it.
saying, if it's not true, to call somebody a pedophile, to call somebody a rapist, I think that is out of bounds. Yeah, absolutely.
I think it's more.
Okay.
I think it's more of a strike.
I don't think Kendrick Lamar shouldn't be saying that about Drake, or if Drake was saying it, he shouldn't be saying. I'm
But
not
if it
talking about
wasn't
the
a-
person. I'm just
What if it was a
applying
play
a
on
word.
words, like
think
she
it's
said,
a-
though?
I
What
think
if
it's
it-
more of a strike toward the person that's saying it.
What if
You know what I'm
it?
saying?
But what if it was a play on words?
But
What
it-
if she didn't mean the actual? What if he really didn't mean the actual action of pedophilia?
No,
But he
he
meant.
was talking about
We'll
he
figure it out
with
later.
teenage girls, and he was with a bunch of he was driving home the point.
So
that
if
weird
he, but
shit
if he had,
happened.
if I have a party at my house, and I allow teenage girls in my house to be,
I ain't saying Drake is
But
not
I'm
a
not-
pedophile.
hold on, I'm not saying he
saying that
is
he's not.
I'm not-
I'm saying if he's not, and Kendrick said that,
Okay.
I think that's. I
It's a
wouldn't
strike
do that.
against Kendrick.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Kendrick would say that too.
I think
If we
so, too.
ask
I think
Kendrick
it's a strike
Lamar
against Kendrick if
to
he's
call
not.
somebody a pedophile and they not rap song or not,
Yeah.
I think he would be like, hell
So
no,
what's
you shouldn't
worse?
do that. So
What's
I
worse?
mean, I would. I now I have to
do
stand
think
on
it's
it
a
and say I
strike
think
against
Kendrick
Kendrick.
Lamar is probably telling the truth.
What's worth? What is it worse to say? You're a pedophile, or I wish you would die. Like, you need to die. He said both of those things.
I
Right.
think pedophile is worse.
Dang.
I think so too.
I mean, I
He
just
said
don't-
niggas like you need to die. He didn't say he was gonna kill him or nothing. He
Oh,
just
I know
saying
that. I'm just
people
saying.
like you, he thinks they should die. And so I mean,
Because he don't take care of his
Kendrick
kids.
was so for real about this shit. It seemed like it's
pedophiles could die.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's
Like,
what I'm
feel
saying.
like
I think
that's
we
something
all feel like pedophiles can die.
Yeah.
So, but now I'm hearing that Universal wanted Kendrick Lamar to issue an apology.
Universal
And
what,
this is the
record?
same
Cause he's a
Jew
Jew.
stuff that you was talking about.
Is
Where-
it
where-
hold on,
where-
wait, because I want to get some clarification. What is Universal?
Like,
What is you-
Oh.
Universal Records, they just like
So
this
is he
major.
on? But is he's on Universal Records?
I don't know
I think
if
his,
he is or not.
I think
I
his
guess I'm
label is
asking-
signed to Universal because Universal
Okay.
is more of a
Okay.
distributor. He's signed to a label. What is it, like Top Dog?
Maybe
I don't know.
I don't
I
know.
think
I
he's
have
signed
no
to a
idea.
label.
No,
And his label was
Kendrick,
signed to,
because Kendrick is the
Oh,
one.
Kendrick is signed to Top Dog.
Yeah, and then
And
Top
they're
Dog
just-
is signed to
so,
Universal.
People on Drake's
Oh, okay.
side are trying to get Kendrick to issue a public
No, Universal
apology.
Records.
apology.
Yeah, but they're probably Drake. That's Drake's side. I mean,
So let me
basically.
say this.
But it's Kendrick's boss.
But I'm gonna say this from just a mere disrespect.
Universal is.
I'm gonna say this from a mere disrespectful way, right?
Uh-huh.
I think that's bogus because I think it's bogus from the standpoint of I should be having freedom of speech to say what I want to say. However, if I own a record company and you out here talking bad about my people, I don't care what you talking about. I'm gonna tell you to issue an apology too. If I'm black,
Yeah.
so if I know we are like these Jewish people run this and run that, they bogus, but who out here letting people just talk bad about their people?
We are.
We are doing that. So that's why I'm saying, like, if we actually look into the content of everything
Did I
that's
say
going
anything?
on, like, come on now, you gotta see the history. You gotta see the history of anybody who done dealt with the industry, the music industry. We understand who's a part of the music industry and who runs it. I don't think when Kendrick Lamar said pedophile, I think he's opening up a can of worms to really expose them for who they are. They do this all the time. Anytime something is being exposed, they want somebody to go and apologize. If we're not seeing this cycle to see that they always want
Why
to
wouldn't
go
they
in-
though?
Why
I guess why would you expect a person to act differently? If I'm talking bad about, if you're talking bad about me and I'm a Jewish person, why would we expect them not to want him to issue an apology? I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying why would y'all
But you're
think?
not saying it's wrong either, though, because
What
what's
I'm-
wrong with that?
What I'm saying to you is this: if it is a company ran by women, and all you do is dog women, like, nah, you're not about to be on my label.
Yeah.
If I'm a Jewish person, I'm not down for the Jews or nothing like that. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is this: if you are talking about my people, I don't care what my people, how you determine what that is, and you are on my label and I'm paying you to talk about my people, why would y'all think that? Why are we acting like that's?
Well, this is what I say. One thing that gets on our nerves about Jews, right, is when they say something is anti-Semitic.
Yes,
We always okay, but not
Not
really.
all of them.
Not really. They're not. Because I'm telling you right now, when I hear a white person critique black people in any way, even if it's justified and just in the critique, I still feel there's a hint of racism in there.
Does it depend on who's saying it?
If it's a white person that critiques a black person in a public way, I always feel like, yes, what they're saying is true, but I still feel like there's some kind of racial component to it.
Even if they're right.
Even if they're right.
So let me ask you,
and I think that Jews feel the same way about people when they critique a Jew in any way, even if what they're saying is
they
actual
think that even if
factual.
you're a Jewish person.
Well, I'm just saying.
So I think that's what the difference. I think that's the difference. I think that it's the difference between power and control over opinion than it is when it comes to. So if we're at the house and I'm saying to you, we need to get ourselves together. You're not calling me racist.
Right.
But if a Jewish person
Right.
is saying that,
Like y'all black people need to get themselves together.
no, if a Jewish person is If a Jewish person right now publicly,
Yes.
if a Jewish
Even if it's
person
true.
right now publicly says that the war that's happening over there, like the Palestinians, it's a genocide happening to the Palestinians,
Yeah.
then they're also saying you're anti-Semitic and
Right.
you hate yourself.
Yeah, they
So what I'm saying is,
self-hating.
what I'm saying is, that's what I'm saying. They're taking it too far. You can't even critique. As a Jew,
Black
you can't
people
even
too.
critique.
Black people the same way.
No, I'm telling you. I'm saying to
when
you,
black people, if I stand up and say black people need to do better and start running down the list of all the stuff, it's a big popular segment of black people that will call me an Uncle Tom, that will call me a coon, that'll call me go against.
No, wait a minute.
The same thing.
Hold on. Hold on for a second. Wait, let me make this point.
Black people do it too.
Hold on, I'm gonna make this point. If you are going, I'm not gonna say nothing about Bill Cosby. I'm gonna say this about people who talk bad about black people. If you talking bad about my people has nothing to do with systematic racism, then I don't care. But most of the things that black people have to say about black people is rooted in white supremacy. So you can't tell.
White supremacy ain't real.
You said what?
White supremacy is a construct and it's not real. And in order for white supremacy to actually be a thing, you have to value what the white people claim that they're supreme at in order to fit into that box. Like,
Okay, so let me ask you.
but that's on them. That's on them. That's on them.
No.
So it's not white supremacy.
Let me ask you a question.
I got a simple one.
So-
I got a simple
Go
one
ahead.
first. Yes or no? Is money real?
It can't be real because you gotta believe in
If you don't got dollar bills, everything is money. But no, we gotta go. We do for real, and I don't want because we've been here for.
No, you can't be ending on that note that white supremacy ain't real and saying we gotta go because if I'm in school and I'm being taught that, like I said earlier, that black
White supremacy is real in the mind of people who hold value for the things white people have.
Exactly.
If you don't,
That's just like money.
so money ain't real either. Unless you hold the value that money has.
Right.
Hold on, wait a minute now. Why would you think that someone has supremacy over
That's
you
not what
when you
that
can?
means.
Why
All
do you
I'm
think
saying-
that this dollar
That's
is
not what
worth
white-
something when it's not?
Listen.
Let's get on Google.
White supremacy.
Let's get on
Hold
Google.
on, wait a minute.
Because you're having a play on words that.
No, I know what you're saying. You're saying that white people are in
That's
control of
That's not what I'm
everything.
saying. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm
How is
saying.
white supremacy
Hey,
real
Siri,
when it's
is
not
white
real?
supremacy real?
White people are not supreme over us
You're
at
having
all.
a play on words though.
No, I'm telling you that. All I'm telling
In
you that I
actuality,
want
they're
people to
not,
think
but
how
the
I'm
system
thinking.
is set up to make us think that.
That's
It's
what I'm
like-
saying. Think that. Think that.
Right.
Think that.
But just
Think
because
that.
we think that, that means that that's real. Because
Right,
if
if
it's
you
real
think
for
that,
you,
but bro,
then it's
not-
real.
but it's not real for me though.
But it's real. But it's real for millions of Americans, right? It's real for millions of Americans.
You know that.
I don't think
I mean, but most
it's only real when you think about it.
and most of our black people
But why you
believe
not
That's not
gonna think about
true.
it though? How can you not
Because
think
you
about it?
it's real.
Okay, let me ask y'all a
Today,
question.
did you think that you was living under white supremacy?
Okay.
So can I ask you?
Today?
Can I ask you a question though?
Really? I don't think it.
Can I ask you-
White people are not
can I
living
ask both of
supreme
y'all a-
over me.
can
at
I-
all.
I don't think white people are supreme over me, but I think the
Shit,
system that's set up is set up
for them to be
for
that
them.
way.
I mean,
Yeah.
because
to
they
have an advantage.
okay, but all I'm
Do you
saying
think that
is,
white people have an advantage?
well, go live in a country where
No, in
white
America.
people go live in.
Do
All
you
I'm
think
saying,
white people have an advantage in America?
Answer the question. Don't tell us to go live somewhere else because you sound like them.
no, I don't. I sound like I'm free. I sound like I'm free. I sound like I'm free.
How can you be free when you can't just go live somewhere else? Everybody can't just pack up and roll out.
Listen, I'm not. I mean, if they did, they would cripple this motherfucker. We might need to do that.
Well, answer the question though.
Shit. I mean, we can do whatever we
You're not
want
going
to,
to.
but no. I hear what you're saying, bro.
Okay.
You're
Answer.
Come ask me one more time, and then we gotta go after this.
Okay.
Listen,
I
okay.
didn't want to end on that note.
White people are supreme. Yeah, I'll take
hear
to
what-
let you guys. I'll
Don't
get
say
that.
that. Don't say that.
What is that? Okay,
Yeah.
well, thank you now.
Yeah,
now
don't
y'all
say
agree
that.
with me. I just had to show you a mirror
I
real
agree
quick
with
for
you.
y'all to
Right.
really come through
I
to me.
don't think they are supreme. but I
Okay,
think
well
it
then
is
what
a
are we
system
talking
that's set
about
up.
then?
Yeah.
We're talking about that we get
If
treated. We're talking about that. I'm gonna just use the same example I used earlier. If I'm in school to be a doctor and I'm taught that black people are women, can endure more pain, aren't this, aren't that,
Yes.
and that white women need more help. They need more this or that, more that. Guess what? And I go to the hospital, now my death rate is more. Then yes, in this society, white supremacy does not necessarily mean that I think that
white
there's
people. Are we saying white people control the government? Okay. Yes.
We're
Is that
not
white
only the
supremacy? Is that
government,
no?
not only the government, but a lot more than that. Because just like with these phones, like our cameras
Okay.
wasn't,
All right.
our cameras was
All right.
not detecting
So-
black people
so
until
white.
the cameras in the phone wasn't
Okay.
detecting black
So
people.
wait. So wait a minute. So you want to end the podcast and say white supremacy is real?
no, I don't. We're
Let's
not, I don't want to
end
end
it
it
like
on
this.
that.
Let's end it like this. Is white supremacy real?
No,
Is white supremacy real?
I'm not. I'm refraining.
Is white supremacy real? Angelica.
You want just one answer?
We gonna come back. You gotta come back now
White
after this time.
supremacy is real only in the minds of the people that believe it's real.
exactly.
Uh,
That's why I said no.
I think white.
But I do
Like,
know.
everyone
But I understand that the system.
And I believe
I
money has
understand.
no
I
value.
understand why
But
they might
everything,
think
I
that.
gotta have to pay my bills.
Exactly.
Oh,
Yeah,
wait a minute.
That's my point.
Hey, hold on.
That's my point.
Let me bring it right back to the queens that's here. You know what white supremacy is,
Can
and
we
you
please
taught
leave
me
on a
this.
good note?
You taught me this.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah,
we can. We got
all
to.
agree.
But you taught me this today when you was teaching me about how we think women don't have sexual urges, just like men. White supremacy is only real because you're taught that in this society. The same way we're taught that women don't have same sexual
Not only
urges.
thoughts, but
No,
actions
we're taught-
to follow it.
Yeah, from your observation.
Program.
Just like from my observation. So what I'm telling you is you're taught that, and it's I kind of hate the teaching because it started
you
making
still
us think
answering
like we
question,
can't do
though.
this and that.
Do white people have an advantage in America?
I say so,
Okay.
but so do you. But so do you.
Who
Black
gonna
people
have
have an
advantage,
advantage.
This is loaded.
You have an advantage.
This is
Over who?
loaded.
You have an advantage to
Over
have the
who?
ultimate comeback story.
Who have
You're
an
in-
advantage?
you
Ooh,
got
yay!
the pressure,
Yay,
the pressure, the
wait,
pressure,
wait,
the
wait.
pressure. Be
Wait,
great, be
wait,
great, be
wait.
great
I'd
anyway.
rather
You have
not
the
do it that
advantage to
way.
be great anyway. You
I
should
have
have
the
a
advantage
harder
to
drive
come-
when you're starting out last. That should rev that engine up to become first.
We
I
cannot be
want
an
you to
underdog
just
in every
know.
aspect of life. Every aspect of life. We should
You're
be
not.
winning.
You're not
Okay,
the underdog. You
she
already
really
see
gotta
yourself.
go.
I know.
She
Okay.
gotta
Okay.
go.
All right. All right. All right.
Starting out
All right.
fast.
I agree.
Did you have a good time today?
Oh my God, this is great.
That's-
I love from here. Not to say that.
Usually by myself.
Yeah.
Girl, this was
Yes.
beautiful. I love your perspective. I love everybody's perspective.
I do too, for real.
Like,
I feel the same way. Like,
I
man,
learned
this
something
is
today.
always the highlight of my week, man. Our Wednesday
So-
podcast. That's why I told you.
But from now on, you have to have some air circulating up in here.
Yeah, I'm going to turn the air on. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay,
I'm
let's
sorry.
see.
I'm
Let's
sorry.
see. Did you have fun tonight?
I had the best time ever.
Did you
today.
have fun tonight?
The best in a long
Did you have fun
time.
tonight?
I did.
I had fun tonight.
Yes.
So we all agree.
Yes. All right. Love everybody. We're going to see y'all next time.